All right, everybody. Good afternoon. It is Melanie Mitro, and I am here with your Business Tip Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March the 7th, and I know I'm a few minutes early. I usually go live right on the hour, but I wanted to get this started. So I am really excited to be here with you sharing today, and the reason is because we're starting a new month. Last month, we did an entire series on spouse support, and we had some great interaction. Hi, guys. We had some just great questions, great answers, and I really hope that you guys took away from that series last month just some ways to communicate and involve your spouse in your business a little bit more. Well, this month and over the next couple of weeks, I have been diving into, number one, what really prompted me to talk about this is I have been getting a lot of questions lately. Number one, about the amount of time that people are spending on their business. Number two, a lot of people that just don't know why they're working as hard as they're working. They are not aware of the sacrifices that might need to be made in order to get there and just setting realistic expectations. So obviously we're going to dive into time management, but I want to set the stage today with just something that just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I shared a little bit of this at the New Leader Conference while I was there. So, hi guys, thanks for the comments. Hi Hannah, Shelly, Amber, welcome. So today is talking about knowing your why. So in your business, right? So whether you are a coach with Team Beachbody or you work for another company, it's all the same. And one of the things that I find that people don't know is their why, or they give this really just sort of general surface level why. And it's like, I want to help people, right? And we all want to help people. And most of us do. Some of us are like, I just want to make money. But there's a reason why you want to help people. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. So let me just ask you this. Number one, and I'm looking down because I have some notes written here, but if you don't know what your why is, what is going to keep you moving forward when the going gets tough? Because I'm going to be honest with you, the going is going to get tough. You're going to reach objections. You are going to get people that tell you no. You are going to come out of the gate with launching your business and be so excited and start shouting it from the rooftops, and people are going to shoot you down, or they're going to tell you that your business idea is stupid, or it's not going to work, or you're going to fail, right? There are negative Nancy's everywhere you go. And, you have to safeguard yourself and put yourself in a little bubble and remind yourself as to why you signed up with the company that you signed up in the first place. What about it? And you can't let somebody else shake that. But here's the thing, right? I signed up with Team Beachbody because number one, had a great experience. I saw the opportunity to be able to teach other people how to eat better, how to make exercise a part of their lifestyle, how to, as a mom of two small children, as a stay-at-home mom with limited income, how I made this work. I went into this business saying, I'm going to teach people how to do what I do. That was my driving force, was to get success stories, to see people actually get results. So that was my why. And what did that drive me to? It drove me to take action. It drove me to create content that was always focused on that why. Am I helping people to get results? Well, I have to share it. I have to invite people. I have to follow up. And no matter how many people tell me no, I believe that eventually I will find the right people, and I will get people to trust me by sharing quality content that shows them that I know what I'm talking about, right? So that was number one. The content that I was creating was all about helping other people feel empowered and motivated to make a change. As I started to understand the business model and the compensation plan and what Beachbody was all about, I began to look at it a little broader and say, I can make this a business opportunity. I should really set some business goals for myself. And so I started to see people that were rank advancing. I started to see people that were being on these leaderboards, and they were praised on the national wake-up calls. And I started to say to myself, I want to be that. I want to be there. I want to be on that leaderboard. Or the first year I went to Summit, I watched all of those people get on stage, and I thought to myself, I want to be on stage. I can do what they're doing. And so it was like a significance. It was wanting to be a part of something, wanting to be a leader, wanting to be the best that I could be. But then it was also these people that I saw that were making an income and their lives were being changed because of it. And I started to realize that, hey, this was important to me. I like to have comfort. I don't want to fight with my husband about money. I don't want him to tell me that I can't go to Target and buy myself workout tanks if that's what I want to do, or buy myself some candles, right? And so my why started to become deeper. My why was I want to create comfort and flexibility and freedom for my life. It was not to retire my husband at that moment. It was to create comfort. And so I started to say my original why of helping people achieve healthy and fulfilling lives is not changing, but I'm adding a new level to that. And that new level is I want to earn that income by helping as many people as I can help, because it's going to help me to achieve goals within my life. But I knew that I had to help more people in order to make that happen. I also wanted that feeling of significance, of being the best that I can be. So for me, income was important, but rank was very important to me. My rank in the company, being publicly shouted out, being on stage, that was important. And for some of you, you are going to say, that doesn't matter to me. And so some of you might say income is more important. Some of you might say rank is more important. Some of you might say that just belonging and being a part of something. I don't even care if I make money. I just want to be accountable to something. That could be your why. And you have to own your why. And you really have to put your blinders on and say, what is my driving force in my life that makes me show up every single day when the going gets tough? And when you're backed into a corner and your hands are tied and it's like, I got to make this business work, your why is going to shine through and you are going to know why you're here. Somebody's why might be that they need to make money so that their electric doesn't get shut off. And somebody else's why might be that they want to take their family on vacation. All right. So you see how whys are different across the board. So you need to identify what that is. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, it took me a while, like a couple of months, to figure out what my why was. And so one of the books that I first read as a brand new coach was Chalene Johnson's 30-Day Push. And she also has it's called 30daypush.com that you can subscribe to. It sends you a daily email for 30 days. And basically it talks about your priorities. It talks about your why. If you Google out there and just start looking at resources like how to find your why, but honestly, look inside of yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that drives me? What gets you out of bed? What are you motivated by? There is something that you're motivated by. Is it your children? So I'm going to give you an example, right? So whenever I was just a brand new coach with Beachbody, they do the Success Club trips every year, right? So the first full year that I was eligible to sign up for a Success Club trip, the trip was to Disney. And my family, I hadn't been to Disney since I was in high school. And since I wasn't working at that time, we didn't take a vacation for a couple of years. That was not on the docket. It's expensive to go to Disney. It's not something that I could envision me taking my family to, right? But I knew that if I earned that trip, that I would feel significant. I would be proud. The look on my kids' faces, and I actually envisioned what their faces would look like as we walked into the Magic Kingdom. They saw the castle, they met the characters, they rode the rides. I thought about the joy that we would be able to give to them because of that goal. And I knew that in order to achieve that goal, I needed to help 3 to 5 people every month. That was how I was going to pay for that Success Club trip. That is how I was going to earn my spot. And so I put the Magic Kingdom as my screensaver on my computer. Every time I got an objection, or every time somebody told me no, or every time I wanted to hit snooze, I would think about that goal. That goal drove me so much that I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. I was willing to work harder. I was willing to grow a little thick skin, and I was willing to continue to do the vital behaviors that build my business to get there. I was so driven by that. And also I was driven to that because I wanted Matt to see that, I was growing a real business and it was going to give our family rewards. And the time I was investing was helping us in some way. So what are you going to set? Is it an amount of money that you're going to earn, right? So your why is even tied to the goals that you're going to set. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps. And somebody mentioned Simon Sinek starts with why. Yes, that is a really good one too. All right. So everybody's why is different. I'll tell you my why has changed over time. It went from just basic needs, helping people, earning that Success Club trip. Then I started understanding the compensation plan, and it was getting to, $500 a week. Then it was getting to $1,000 a week. Then it was being able to get to Star Diamond and Elite and Premier. And those goals, those elite and premier goals had significance. So somebody said to me, and I keep saying significance because it's an important word, but somebody said to me at the end of last year, whenever they were going to miss their elite qualifications, and they said, you know what? I put elite on my goal board because I just thought that's what I was supposed to do, because that's what everybody else was doing in our mastermind group. That's what, once you become a diamond coach, that's the goal you set. But she didn't know what it meant to be an elite coach. She didn't know what the work involved was going to be. And she had no idea the daily behaviors she needed to take to get there. So as you're thinking about what your goals are and the things you're putting, you have to understand what it means to get there, which we're going to talk about next. Why is it important to you? And now how does that tie with your priorities? All right. So the next thing is, once you know your why, and we're going to get into your business, right? So once you know your why, you have to ask yourself, okay, if my why is to do X, Y, and Z, now let me look at my business. I want to start taking action in my business, but I need to define my priorities. All right. So this is really key. So when you're setting your priorities, and this is something Chalene Johnson talks about, is what are the things that are non-negotiable in your life that you are not willing to give up? Like if somebody came to my house and said, Melanie, you need to choose your Beachbody business or your spouse and your children, I would choose my spouse and my children because they are a priority to me. Right? My Beachbody business is a priority. It's second to my family. Number 3, maybe it's volunteering. Maybe it's community service. It PTA with your kids, and you place such a high value and priority on that, you are not willing to give that up. That's not something you are willing to sacrifice. Also, your full-time job. You may love your actual career that you have that is not a network marketing business. It might be something else, and you're not willing to give that up. The priorities are the things in your life that are non-negotiable. All right. Then once you know what those things are, then there are going to be things that are coming into your life that are going to try to vie for your priorities time. So if your priorities are your family, your relationship with your spouse, building your Beachbody business so it creates you a full-time income, it's going to church, then you're going to start having other things that come in. So I'm going to give you a quick example. When I was first started coaching, I was running a fit club, and that fit club was going really well. And a fit club is basically where you go and you play the workout DVD up on a screen or, up on a projector, and you get together and you get people together that either want to work out together live or that are interested in the programs. And so every week we would do a fit club. We'd get together and set up a table and have Shakeology and, Energize, and all E&E at the time, was the one that we had. And I would talk about Beachbody. I would talk about challenge groups. I'd talk about the products and the programs, and I'd invite people into my challenge groups. It was a great way for me to get out into the community. Well, my fit club started doing so well that the organization asked me if I'd be willing to add another day. And so, of course, I'm like, absolutely. Why wouldn't I add another day? I can help more people, right? So that was the helping people. But let's take a step back. My business was starting to grow. It was 3 hours away from my family. So I was leaving the house. It was taking me time to drive there, to set up, to host the actual workout, to talk to people afterwards, then to pack up and get home. That was 3 hours away from my family. Is this the best use of my time? My online business was starting to grow way faster at this point, and I began to think to myself, I could spend an hour and a half working on my business at home and do 3 times as much as I could do in that 3 hours that I was at Fit Club and get way more customers. Then that other hour and a half I could devote to my kids and getting them ready for bed and watching a show and hanging out with my husband. And so I had to gracefully decline doing that second Fit Club, not because I didn't want to help people, but because I was realigning my priorities and my time. And while that sounded like a great idea, I'm not passionate about teaching live classes. And I also know that that's not going to be the best way to build my business the fastest, to produce the kind of income and the rank and the recognition that I feel satisfied about. All right. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Some people love that way of building their business. I didn't. It wasn't a part of a priority. And so I think it's important that you give yourself 24 hours to say yes or no. And so that's a sacrifice, right? That's a choice that you make in your Beachbody business. All right. So the next thing is, as we're talking about our why and we're talking about sacrifices, the next thing we need to ask ourselves is, okay, as I'm looking at the time that I do have to build my business, as I'm looking at my calendar, and I need to say to myself, when am I going to build my business? How am I going to fit this into my already crazy busy life? You have to ask yourself, number one, what is my goal? What is my goal? If my why is to pay off an income, if my why is to leave a job, if my why is to be a certain rank, how am I going to get to that point? Is it going to be the number of new people you bring into your business, the number of new coaches you sign up? Is it going to be, the number of people you invite and follow up with, the places on social media that you're growing? Like, what is your goal, and how are you going to get there? How much time is it going to take? So for me and sacrifices, I can remember the first year that I was an Elite 10 coach, my mentor came to me and said, hey, Melanie, what are your goals for this year? And I said, you know what? I don't know that I want to shoot for top 10 because I'm afraid that it'll throw off my family balance, and they are my number one priority. So if it happens naturally, fine, but I'm not going to kill myself to get there. So funny, what ended up happening is I ended up falling into the top 10 because my goals were aligned with growing my business the right way. And I was actually taking action, and I was being very purposeful with the time that I did have. And I sort of had maybe a jaded view of what it would take to get there. I didn't need to spend 8 hours a day, 7 days a week building my business. I could, in fact, get to the goal that I wanted to get to, but I didn't know that at first. But because I had identified what the actual priorities were to get there, I was able to make that happen. All right. So you don't have to work this business 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, you can accomplish amazing things if you know what it takes to get there, if you treat it like a business. So how much time is it going to take you to get to where you want to be? Now is the time to start evaluating that. All right. So I'm doing a little experiment with myself and with my team. And we are really, this month is all about being action oriented. And I am going to, this is my full-time job, but it wasn't always my full-time job. When I started this, it was building it in the pocket. So it was like that half hour before the kids got up in the morning. It was that hour while they watched a show in the afternoon. It was an hour and a half while they took a nap. It was 20 minutes here. And I sort of fit my business into my pockets, but I always put it on the calendar. I always knew when it was going to happen, and I made sacrifices. I knew that I couldn't have, my goal body and eat cake and ice cream every single day, right? I knew that I couldn't have an elite business and sit on the couch and drink wine and eat bonbons every single night and watch TV for 4 hours. Like that was not in line. All right. So I knew that my sacrifices was going to come at an extra hour that I would get up in the morning. I would not hit snooze on the weekends. I would get up and I would build my business for a couple of hours before the kids got up, because I knew that my husband was home on the weekends and he could watch the kids. My sacrifices came at DVRing my shows that I wanted to watch and watching them in a half hour versus an hour. My sacrifices came in the choices that I made on a daily basis so that I could get to the goal I wanted, because my why was clear and my priorities were defined. And I really don't think a lot of you know where you're spending your time in the day. You don't know what you're doing, and you're thinking that you have to devote all this time to building a business when you don't have to. So the sacrifices that you make, it doesn't have to be your whole life. You should be able to find a balance to this. I can tell you, quite honestly, there are going to be times where you feel off balance and you've got to pull yourself back in. But I promise you that it is doable and you can make it happen. So let me just tell you, What are the things that I am doing in my business right now that are in line with my why, are in line with my goals, and that are helping me get results? All right. So here we go. This morning, for example, I got up and I thought to myself, I have 45 minutes before I have an appointment that I have to go to. And I need to get the most important things done in my business. So last night, I made a list of the things that I needed to do. The things on my list are action related. They were not making a pretty social media image. They were not changing my banner on my Facebook page. They were not writing a blog post. They were not even going live. They were inviting, following up, adding to my contact list, and checking in with my current customers. Literally, the only thing that was open on my Facebook was my email and my Facebook. And I literally was going through, last night I had posted about a free group and I had created an event and I had asked people to leave me their email addresses. I had reached out to prior customers. I had done that last night, and this morning was about follow-ups, was about inviting prior people that had said no to a regular challenge group, and it was about checking in with my challengers. And literally for that 45 minutes, it was action-based. And I have a tracking sheet in there. Tracking sheets, this one is one that, oops, I just dropped my paper. This one is actually from the Coach Online Office. I took this directly from the Coach Online Office, and it is a power hour. And I literally did a power 45 minutes this morning. And I was able to, at the end of that 45 minutes, look at my list that I had created through Google Streak. I was able to take a look at that and say, yep, I talked to, or I messaged 10 people. I followed up with 5 people. I added X amount of people to my contact list. I was able to go through and check that off the box. I had done my workout. I had drank my Shakeology. And now as of 9:30 this morning, I knew what I had accomplished and what I haven't accomplished yet. So that was a focused power hour. Now, I will take pictures throughout the day. I'll take a picture of my food. I will do a Transformation Tuesday picture. That will be my social media throughout the day. And then I will come back this evening and this afternoon, and I will check in with my challengers, and I will go through the same process again of talking to people, following up, and I will look at that pipeline and say, am I adding people? Because that is the only way your business grows. And so one of the things I did at the end of last night was I sort of evaluated myself. And I realized yesterday I had spent all day in my office, but I didn't do anything on this list. Do you know what I did yesterday? I answered Facebook messages from my coaches. I created a new video for my challenge group. I started creating a new script for my challenge group idea that I have going on. I was organizing. I was getting myself together. I was getting my ideas together. But I didn't do anything that was action-based that was going to help me accomplish the goals that I wanted to get to. And I really think that a lot of us don't understand that the time that we're spending in our business is not getting us results because we're not tracking it and we're not writing it down. So what I want to say to you guys today as I wrap this up is this. Make sure that you have a tracking sheet that you are using. Make sure you have a system for keeping track of the people you're talking to. Make sure your why is as clear as day, written at the top of your computer screen or on a piece of notebook paper or on a sticky note up on the wall. Make sure your goals are outlined, and every day you ask yourself, am I taking action, like real action, talking to people, getting people to sign up? Am I at the end of every week getting those sales? Have I got success club points? Is my income growing? Is my volume growing? That is the only thing that is going to help you get to your goal, because you don't need to spend 8 to 10 hours a day on your business. You need to have 30 to 45 minutes or an hour. And if you want your business to grow faster, then you can spend 2 hours doing these things, but your list better be bigger. And it's all about the number of people you talk to that are going to get you to the goals that you want. And the sacrifices, guys, the sacrifices do not need to be your life, your family, and all of your relationships. Here's the thing. When it's time to turn it off, you turn it off. You put your phone on silent. You turn off the ringer. You close your computer. You take Facebook Messenger off your phone, and you are present with the people in your life you're supposed to be present with at that moment in time. And I will tell you, it's a work in progress. It is easy to sort of get pulled back the other way into thinking I have to respond right away. But if you create pockets within your day that you are going to do your activities, you will know when the next time is you can check in with those people. It will lessen your stress. And when you sit down to do your business, you are doing your business and nothing else. And the sacrifices will be worth it because you're actually producing results. All right? So what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to just redefine their why. And I really want you to share it with somebody you love. Share it with the people that are around you. Share it with your upline coach. Share it with your spouse, your significant other. Tell them why what you want to get done. Like I told Matt, I'm working hard to earn this trip so we can go to Disney, right? This is what we're going to get. We're going to get X amount of dollars in travel cash, right? I'm working really hard to get this amount of income per week. These are the things I'm doing to get there. And because I was doing those things and I was making progress, he was willing to invest and trust me in this journey and venture together. So you want to share that why, you want to be very honest about it, you want to be clear about the sacrifices, you want to schedule your time, and again, make sure you're focused on the right activities to build your business. All right, so next week, we are going to talk about actually setting business hours. We are going to talk about clearing distractions, how to be more efficient with the time that you do have. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys today. Let me take a look at your questions very quickly, and then we'll go from there. So I started tracking in December. Yes, huge difference. And I'll be honest with you, people don't want to track because they don't want to know if they're doing well or not doing well. But I will tell you, that's the first thing that you want to look at if you feel like you're working and you're not getting results. I bet you're not actually working on the right things. All right. Okay, let's see. I used to think an odd balance day. Yep. And there's going to be odd balance days for sure, but you just sort of have to kind of pull yourself back in. So, yep. Let's see. Do you have videos that explain this business model for Beachbody? Meg, you know what? How about if I send you a message and we can chat? But absolutely. My YouTube channel has so much information. If you just Google Melanie Mitro and YouTube, my video comes up. I have a ton of business opportunity presentations you can check out as well. So, all right, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's Business Tip Tuesday. Again, feel free to share this with your teams. I don't mind at all. I will publish this on YouTube. So I'll make it a YouTube link as well. And every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I go live. And I just appreciate all of the feedback, all the personal messages that you guys give me that say how much these Business Tip Tuesdays are helping you. And it makes me want to keep going. And I really enjoy it. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.